Hi, my name is Angelita Forté. Thank you for joining me for my Education 541 School and Society Field-Based Activity through Franciscan University. The professor for this course is Dr. Clint Bourne. Today, I am here to discuss the significance that a child's living condition has on his or her school experience. This will include factors related to the student's academic achievement and their social development for school students of poverty. Research shows that it is much easier for a student to learn and thrive academically and socially when they have a safe and clean environment in which to live and study. Things become a lot more difficult when a child does not have a safe living environment and they don't have the resources to eat, sleep, or even clean themselves properly on a daily basis. The minds and thoughts of the children who are living in poverty are generally thinking about survival as opposed to whether or not they can complete a homework assignment or even study for a test. According to the 1966 Coleman Report, social scientists believe that students' socioeconomic backgrounds considerably outweigh what goes on in the school as factors in determining how much a student learns. According to an article, Educating Students Who Live in Poverty, children in poverty are least likely to be educated in our nation because poverty affects not only education, but success, health, relationships, and their ability for humans to reach their full potential. I have with me the principal of East Garfield Elementary, Mr. Tom Casanis, and we are going to discuss some of these factors. So how are you, Mr. Casanis?
Good, you?
I'm doing quite well. As we know, Jefferson Metropolitan Housing Development is located directly in front of the school. So this is a development that is for low-income families. What does that make the socioeconomic factors of your school look like?
99% of the kids that come to East are from a low social economic background. They're disadvantaged students with not a lot of family support.
Well, and that goes directly into what we're going to be discussing, especially talking about the living conditions. What effects do you believe a child's living conditions have on their academic and social development?
We know it affects them. Obviously, kids that come from a home where they're getting extra help at home helps them, but we don't use that as an excuse. We make sure when kids walk through our doors, they're smiling. We want to make this a place where they want to be. We understand a lot of their home lives are not good, but we want them to be able to feel comfortable when they're walking in this building.
So making it a safe and comfortable
Yes.
learning environment. And so what are some of the things that you as a principal try to do to offset some of those conditions?
As a principal, in the past couple of years, I've set up tutoring before school, tutoring after school. We've tapped into the community to set up tutors. We use the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club. We even use Franciscan University students, Eastern Gateway students to come in and help those kids that are disadvantaged.
Sounds like you are a great resource for the community. Now, what are some of the things that your teachers do to aid these students to become successful in the classroom?
A lot of times we know our kids can't do the work at home, whether they don't have somebody at home to help them or, to be honest, sometimes the parents can't. So our teachers will come in early or stay after to help kids with their work. They'll let them do their homework when we're waiting for buses at the end of the day. Sometimes the kids will come in as soon as they get off the school bus. Teachers are in their rooms. They let their kids come to their classrooms to help them with anything that they need. Those are some of the things we've done in the past and we still do today.
Well, Mr. Casanis, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to help me with this study, and I wish you the best of luck. When looking at East Garfield Elementary, it is racially diverse. However, all students are socioeconomically disadvantaged. Something very important in all schools is to make sure that the staff understands the demographics of the school. This will help to create a climate and culture in the school and in the classrooms in which students feel safe and comfortable and will be encouraged to have the best and most suitable learning environment. One thing that I think will help create this type of environment is by making an effort to have diversity displayed on the walls of the school and the classrooms, as well as using material that shows diversity as well. The classroom setting should display as much diversity as possible. Other things that can be done to help children of poverty or who live in poor conditions to thrive would be to provide alternatives for homework assignments. This could be done by teachers making themselves available in the mornings before school, or even having hours after school in which they make themselves available to help students with whether it's homework assignments, whether it's tutoring, or even in-class assignments that may not have been completed during class time. Another thing is to possibly have in-class credit that can be given to the students for assignments instead of those things being taken home, especially when we understand the demographics, we understand the living conditions of the students, and we are well aware that more than likely certain students are not going to be able to complete those assignments at home, whether it's because they have a single parent who may be working or who may not even be capable of helping them with the homework, even if they are home. But making sure that these students have an opportunity to finish those assignments and complete them correctly with some help that will help them advance. I also believe another important factor is to have an open dialogue with the students, making sure that they know that they can come to you. And that goes into building relationships with the students. The students can't just come into your classroom and feel comfortable, but making sure that you talk with the students, allowing them to share different things that may be going on in their neighborhoods or in their homes without being judgmental, but understanding this is the condition that they live in, and allowing them to express themselves, especially when something has happened that has impacted their household or their neighborhood or family member. And making sure that there is that open dialogue for those students to come and share. And I believe once you build that type of rapport with the students, then they are more likely to come to you and say, hey, I wasn't able to complete my homework assignment because I had this going on at home. Or I wasn't able to study for this test because of this situation that happened. And then you can kind of even treat some of these situations on a case-by-case basis, and making sure that each and every student gets the proper education in order to make sure that they are learning and advancing. So as educators, we must be aware of what is going on with our wounded or at-risk students, whatever type of category you want to put them in, so that we can build trust and healthy relationships with them. And building these relationships, they will be more willing to open up. This gives them the opportunity to share with us, and it gives us an opportunity to understand what's going on. So it is very important that we understand that each of these children, especially if they are living in poor conditions, they are going to need some extra help, and to make sure that they are successful. Thank you. Again, my name is Angelita Forté, and I appreciate you joining me for this session.